Hello and welcome to Express News. In the next half an hour, we'll get you all the latest news and updates. My name is Abhishek Mahajan. We'll start with the top story. The Government of India has launched a comprehensive scheme on Thursday for providing internship opportunities to the country's youth for top companies. One-year PM internship program targets young individuals aged 21 and 24, offering internships in India's top 500 companies as part of PM Modi's package for employment and skilling, first announced in India's budget by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. October 3rd marks a decade of Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's monthly program Mann Ki Baat. Nearly 96% of the population is aware of PM Modi's monthly radio program. The program reaches about 100 crore listeners. The President of India, Draupadi Murmu, graced the 32nd convocation of Mohanlal Sukhadia University at Udaipur, Rajasthan on Thursday. Speaking on the occasion, the President said constant hard work and dedication will help them throughout their lives. The first week of October is celebrated as the World Wildlife Week. Wildlife and wetlands are two sides of the same coin. The 12th CMS Vatavaran International Film Festival and Forum on Environment and Wildlife in the national capital for the next 3 days. India's Prime Minister Narendra Modi will be participating in the Kautilya Economic Conclave in New Delhi on Friday. India's Department of Economic Affairs and Institute of Economic Growth will host the third edition of Kautilya Economic Conclave with the theme The Indian Era from 4th to 6th October in New Delhi. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar will pay an official visit to Sri Lanka on Friday. He will meet the Sri Lankan leadership during the visit. India's Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman met with a delegation from European Union led by Johannes Hahn, European Commissioner for Budget and Administration, on Thursday. The European Commissioner for Budget and Administration highlighted EU's initiative of next-generation EU green bonds for raising money for green and sustainable investments. The Indo-Pacific Regional Dialogue 2024 began in New Delhi on Thursday to run till 5th October. The theme of the conference is Resource, Geopolitics and Security in the Indo-Pacific. India's Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal addressed the gathering at the reception and dinner hosted by the Ambassador of India to the US on the occasion of India-US CEO Forum and Commercial Dialogue. In a post on microblogging site X, Indian Minister Piyush Goyal said that the nations discussed the vast potential for collaboration across diverse sectors and ways to further strengthen the economic ties. India's Central Drug Standard Control Organization of India's Ministry of Health and Family Welfare has become affiliated member of the International Medical Device Regulators Forum. The Delhi police busted an international drug syndicate seizing more than 560 kg of cocaine. 4 people have been arrested in connection with a case revealing links to a Dubai-based businessman. India's new Air Force Vice Chief Air Marshal S.P. Dharkar on Thursday received a Guard of Honor in New Delhi. Dharkar has been appointed as Vice Chief of Air Staff, succeeding incumbent Air Marshal A.P. Singh. Indian Army's Hussain Battalion in Kangan area of Gandarbal district in North India's J&K has launched a special initiative to train aspirants eager to join the Indian Army under the country's Agniveer scheme. India's Enforcement Directorate summoned former India cricket captain Mohammad Azharuddin in a money laundering case linked to Hyderabad Cricket Association irregularities to the tune of ₹20 crore. An average daily transactions on India's Unified Payments Interface or UPI surged over 8-fold this year since the pandemic. India's UPI transaction has risen from 60 million in September 2020 to over 500 million by September 2024. According to the National Payments Corporation of India, in September 2024 alone, UPI processed 15.04 billion transactions valued at 20.64 trillion rupees. The Adani Group and Google will collaborate to supply clean energy from a new solar wind hybrid project located in world's largest renewable energy plant at Khavda in Western Indian state of Gujarat for a project that starts in 2025. The Indian markets ended on weak note with Nifty at 25,250 on Thursday amid selling across the sectors. At close, the Sensex was down 1,769.19 points to close at 82,497 points. Nifty was down 546.80 points to close at 25,250 points with about 1,077 shares advanced, 2,740 shares declined and 86 shares remained stable. Gold and silver prices rebounded on Thursday. The precious metal rose Rs 200 to revisit the all-time high level of Rs 78,300 per 10 grams. Silver has jumped to Rs 93,165 per kg. Oil prices rose on Thursday amid widening West Asia conflict expected to disrupt crude oil flows from the region, though a stronger global supply outlook kept a lid on gains. Brent crude futures at $75.31 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude futures rose to $71.55. Global stocks dipped as European and Asian share indexes broadly retreated on Thursday. In international, Israel launched overnight airstrike in central Beirut, targeting a health center linked to Hezbollah. At least 6 people were killed and 7 wounded in the attack. The Israeli military says the operation was precise and targeted, with strikes also hitting Hezbollah strongholds in southern Lebanon. Iran has an execution list of Israeli terrorists, including Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Defense Minister Yoav Gallant, and commanders of the Israel's Army, Navy and Air Force, according to a poster being widely circulated on social media and various news platforms. Concerns over escalating tension in West Asia have sparked global airline disruptions. Multiple international airlines have suspended flights to the region or altered routes to avoid affected airspace. Dubai-based Emirates on Thursday said it has cancelled flights to Iraq, Iran and Jordan for 3 days over regional unrest after an Iranian missile strike on Israel stoked fears of a wider war. Ahead of the first anniversary of the October 7 attack by Hamas on Israel, the country's ambassador to India, Reuven Azar, said the attack has strengthened Israel's resolve to neutralize the Hamas threat. Israeli ambassador Reuven Azar hailed the Indian government's stance, particularly Prime Minister Narendra Modi's strong leadership against threats to humanity. At least 12 people were injured after a Russian guided bomb struck a high-rise apartment block in Ukraine's Kharkiv late on Wednesday. In the overnight drone strike on 15 Ukrainian regions, several commercial and residential buildings were damaged. Power lines have also been damaged in 3 Ukrainian regions. Ukraine has claimed, on the other hand, that it shot down 78 out of 105 drones. Rescue operations are underway in search for those trapped amidst the rubble. In light of the ongoing attacks, President Volodymyr Zelensky emphasized the need for increased assistance from Ukraine's Western allies. At least 9 people died after a fire tore through a hospital in southern Taiwan. The incident happened while Health Ministry was evacuating patients due to Typhoon Krathon. 25 police officers were arrested in Guatemala for involvement in a human trafficking racket. 2 of the arrested officers were retired. Singapore court convicts a former cabinet minister to jail sentence on Thursday. Subramaniam Iswaran is the first Singaporean minister to be jailed in almost 50 years. Former Minister S. Iswaran has been given a 12-month jail punishment for obstructing justice and receiving valuable gifts. The minister pleaded guilty to allegations last week. World War II bomb explodes at an airport runway in Japan. No injuries or damage to any aircraft were reported. An investigation by the self-defense forces and police confirmed the explosion was caused by a 500-pound US bomb and there was no further danger. Republican presidential candidate Donald Trump's campaign says it raised over $160 million in September. This marks a 23% surge from August's $130 million haul. Tensions on Mexico's southern border escalates. 6 migrants die after Mexican soldiers fire on pickup truck. The incident brings renewed scrutiny on Mexico's migrant policies and the military's expanding role in security amid US pressure to curb migration. Mass protests were seen in Argentina against university budget cuts by President Javier Milei's government. Protests came in response to Milei's administration's threat to veto a law. All right, we are slipping into a very short break. On the other side, more stories. Keep watching Express News.
India is one of the countries most affected by the impacts of climate change. So what can be the solution, and can children become a part of the solution?
We show a picture of the amla berry, for example, and discuss their nutritional value. In this way, they begin to understand the value of different fruits and vegetables, and that's when they realize why it's important to eat these things.
If we convert this 120 million ton that we see into biochar, we see about roughly about 350 million tons of CO2 emission reduction.
We can cultivate and use in a responsible way, and maybe how small-scale community enterprises could start to use it as a way to support their local economy.
Welcome back. You're watching Express News. Some more stories. Rescue and recovery extend deeper into areas ravaged by Hurricane Helene in US. Death toll crosses 180. Thousands left still without power and water. US President Joe Biden surveyed Storm Helene's aftermath in North Carolina. He participated in an aerial inspection and met with flood victims. US President Joe Biden also received an operational briefing in Raleigh, also reaffirmed his commitment to support North Carolina in Helene recovery. US Vice President Kamala Harris also visited Augusta, Georgia, following Hurricane Helene to meet with victims. She announced federal funds following the storm. US Vice President Kamala Harris vowed federal support during Georgia visit. She announced $750 to individuals affected by the disaster. Also said that government would cover 100% of local recovery costs. Tropical storm John's destruction continues even days after its landfall, leaves homes and roads in ruins at beach resort in Mexico. Mexico's new president Claudia Sheinbaum arrived in Acapulco to assess damage caused by Storm John. He also visited people affected by the devastating impact of the storm. Typhoon Krathon made landfall in Taiwan on Thursday with torrential rains and heavy winds. Taiwan shuts down for second day. Hundreds of domestic flights grounded and financial markets closed. Over 10,000 people have been evacuated in Taiwan. Government has urged residents to remain indoors. Government of Nepal issued a new rainfall alert for heavy rainfall days after heavy downpours caused floods and landslides. The death toll from the flood has reached 233, while 22 remain missing. Indian state Bihar battles worsening floods. Air Force conduct relief operation in flood-affected regions. District administration deliver relief materials to affected people. Due to waterloggings in school, 107 government schools are closed in Bihar. National and state disaster forces teams are also deployed in relief and rescue operations. The city of Chiang Mai in Thailand is bracing for flooding as heavy rains have triggered landslides and swollen rivers. Authorities issued red alert for 7 zones. Drought cut off transport route for riverside communities in Brazilian Amazon. Around 70% of all cities in the Amazon are affected by the drought. Negro River, the largest left tributary of the Amazon River, decreases by 8 inches from the record low it reached last year. Projections indicate water levels will continue to fall. Hindu festival of Navratri begins amid religious fervour in different parts of India. The day marks the beginning of 9-day festival dedicated to the worship of goddess Durga. On the first day of Shardiya Navratri, devotees gathered at the Mumba Devi temple in Mumbai for a vibrant Aarti ceremony. Devotees were seen standing in queues to offer prayers. The 10-day Grand Dussehra celebration at Kudroli Gokar Natheshwara temple was inaugurated today in India's Karnataka. Devotees performed the traditional Pili Nalike tiger dance on the occasion. Simbayu Wildlife Park has announced the birth of a rare albino wallaby joey. Only 1 in 100,000 wallabies exhibit the genetic trait of albinism. The rare albino wallaby joey was born more than 7 months ago. However, the zookeepers only discovered the joey's albinism in past 6 weeks. Illuminations and festively decorated trees aim to spread the spirit of Christmas early in Venezuela were seen as the holiday season officially begins. Local residents were seen posing for photographs as they enjoyed the light displays, though some noted the unusually early start to the festivities. Moo Deng, the baby pygmy hippo, has millions of fans on social media following her clumsily charming adventures, but she also became an unlikely entrepreneurial catalyst. In Bangkok, a cake shop has started creating an entire menagerie of hippo-shaped cakes, drawing in crowds and boosting local business. Easter Island in Chile has become the focal point for astronomy enthusiasts this week, as a solar eclipse will dazzle the skies on Wednesday. Eclipse chasers and tourists have arrived on the island known for its iconic Moai statues to witness the breathtaking rare phenomena. People of the Capital, the online 3D exhibition presents numerous valuable documents and images depicting the struggle by Hanoi people against colonialists. The 3D exhibition takes viewers on a journey through the heroic history of the nation. Visitors can explore images of the ancient citadel of Hanoi. Hong Kong's skyline dazzled with a colourful fireworks display as the city celebrated the 75th anniversary of the founding of People's Republic of China. The 23-minute display on the Hong Kong skyline themed splendid fireworks shining over China attracted more than 300,000 spectators. Indian actor Ahan Shetty has joined the cast of the highly anticipated sequel to the iconic 1997 Bollywood war film Border. Indian filmmaker Shaunak Sen will serve as the jury head for the 19th edition of the Tasveer Film Festival. The Tasveer Film Festival is the premier South Asian film festival in the United States, scheduled to be held from 15th October to 20th. One of the most anticipated Indian Hindi language action film, Singham Again, is set to launch its trailer on October 7. Payal Kapadia has featured as part of the Time 100 Next 2024 list that celebrates today's most influential leaders. Payal Kapadia's All We Imagine as Light made history this year as the first from India to win Cannes Grand Prix. The cast and the crew of franchise hit the red carpet in Los Angeles for the world premiere of the series. The franchise is a new comedy series from the Oscar-winning director Sam Mendes and acclaimed satirist Armando Iannucci. Three-time Oscar-winning actor Daniel Day-Lewis makes a comeback to star in Anemone, which is his son's upcoming directorial debut. British actors Hugh Grant and Tilda Swinton attended the British Film Institute's biannual fundraising gala Luminous in London. Actors Mikey Madison and Mark Idleshine joined writer-director Sean Baker for the Los Angeles premiere of Palme d'Or winner Aurora. American media personality and socialite Kylie Jenner closed the Copernicus show at Disneyland Paris in a gorgeous black gown. In sports, Indian women's cricket team is all set to take on New Zealand in the opening encounter on Friday in Dubai. Praveen Jayavikrama has been banned from all forms of cricket for 1 year for breaching the sports anti-corruption code. Josh Butler is set to return for the one-day international and 2020 tour of the West Indies later in October after recovering from a calf injury. Sumit Nagal crashed out of the Shanghai Masters after suffering a loss in the first round against China's Wu Yibing on Wednesday. PR Srijesh has now decided to officially end his playing career and withdraw from the upcoming Hockey India League player auction. A first-half penalty earned Lille a shocking 1-0 home victory over Real Madrid in the Champions League group phase. Benfica thrashed Atletico Madrid 4-0 in the Champions League to start their campaign with 2 consecutive wins. Jon Duran late goal secured Aston Villa a famous 1-0 win over Bayern Munich in Champions League at Villa Park. Argentine forward Lionel Messi helped Inter Miami win the MLS Supporters' Shield for the first time, beating Columbus Crew 3-2. London's historical Friends House set to witness chess world's best players as it gets ready to host the Global Chess League. Alright, that's all we have in this edition of Express News. You stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.